Hey everybody, it's not really a kitchen table talk. I'm through with those, but I am at the kitchen table and I am talking. Peter Street. I had a little thing with my uncle next door, and another friend asked me to do a little project to help out. So I was in Athens and needed to stay here to help my uncle out. And oh my God, oh, we got in the truck. We were riding around. He was telling me about all this and what was going on and everything. And all of a sudden it was starting flying all over me. I was like, oh my God, this is just, this is such a downer, man. And then I realized, I went, man, you spotted, you got it. This is what you sound like. People get in the car with you and get around you. This is what you sound like to them. And I'm going, oh no. It was oppressive. I wanted to jump out of the truck, and I couldn't get him quick enough. I get him out. I said, man, you're going to have to lighten up some, man. It is not this bad. I mean, we can take care of this, but he can get himself into more trouble for a 77-year-old, 72 or whatever he is. He's an older guy. He's my mother's brother, but man, he can really get wrapped around the axle on stuff. So anyway, but it did teach me something. You spot it, you got it, man. And the other thing was Mr. Harold, he's 96. He fell and broke his hip about 3 weeks ago, and had a partial hip replacement at the age of 96, and he's going home tomorrow. Okay, he's going home tomorrow, and needed another handicap bar in his bathroom so he could get from the shower over to where he needed to go. So I went and put up a handicap bar, but it was that's a miracle. He is an absolute World War II hero, member of the Great Generation. He's member of he is in the 4-H National Hall of Fame in Washington, D.C. Just been honored throughout Georgia for his 4-H work at Rock Eagle. If you've ever been to the Rock Eagle thing and that program there, that's Harold and some other folks. But anyway, just a terrific guy, and I was glad to do it. So that was there. Also, just want to make sure that I can get one of these things up on the website. I don't know whether I can or not. We'll find out. And I have decided that the project needed a name. You always have to have a name for the project. A mission. It's always got to have a name. I got that from the military, I guess. But I'm naming this the Road to Nowhere. There's a bridge to nowhere, but this is the Road to Nowhere. And the reason it's named that is because the property is actually at the corner of Dillard and Nowhere roads in Madison County near Hull, Georgia. The address. So it's at the intersection of Dillard Road and Nowhere Road. My address is actually Nowhere Road. So and I have a mascot. There's an Indian tribe that used to get lost all the time, an American Indian tribe, and so I'm taking on, and it's just it's fictitious, so a fictitious one. So there's no political incorrectness here, but the name of the Indian tribe is the Huetafagawas. And so the Huetafagawa tribe, they were always getting lost. And every time they got lost, they would turn to each other and say their name, Huetafagawi. So if I ever get lost during the project on the road to nowhere, I'll just up and say, Huetafagawi. And then I'll invoke that, folks, and we'll find out where we are. So that's what that one is. Also, I'm reading a book on destructive emotions. I thought it would be better than it is, but it's a little dry. But it's the Dalai Lama, and he got together with 12 or so scientists, neuroscientists, and all that, and they started studying some Buddhist monks to see, if there were certain parts of the brain through functional MRIs and that type of thing that lit up during a time where they were experiencing negative emotions or destructive emotions. And destructive emotions are different than negative. They define those as those that cause people to do injury to other people. And so, violence and that type of thing. And they gave these monks scenarios that mimicked that. Of course, they didn't ask them to beat anybody up or anything. Anyway, and they were studying like the startle reflex and some of the reflexes and all this. It was interesting in that way, but a little bit dry in the reading, actually. But one of the things that came out in this was that the Dalai Lama's least favorite science, he's a very scientific guy, But his least favorite science is computer science, my field. And I'm going, well, no, wait a minute, Dolly. I mean, come on, guy, give me a break here. Uh, and uh, and then it became obvious. I mean, he's Buddhist, right? And the Buddhists are the middle way. That's their whole thing is about, nothing's ever one way or the other. There's a little bit of good in all of, in the worst of us, a little bit of bad in the best of us. And don't be too much one way or too much the other. Let's try to stay even and go down the center of the road and all that, which is a great, a lesson that I really need. I go, why would the Dalai Lama not like that? Well, then it dawned on me, because computer science is binary. It's 0 and 1. It's on or it's off. I mean, there is no middle road. At its core, at its very basic premise, computer science is 0 or 1. It is on or it is off. And there's no place for the Buddhist middle ground in computer science. And which is really part of the reason that it attracted me, is because there is no middle ground. It suited my intellect that it's one way or the other. And that way you can figure something out, because then if you have that certainty, that piece of certainty, then you can. But that piece of certainty does not exist anywhere, not in nature, because even in quantum mechanics, there is the Heisenberg principle of uncertainty. There is just a certain level of uncertainty in everything, down to the very, most minute particle of matter that says that it is indeterminable. You cannot determine with complete accuracy anything. Now, as soon as you get up in the quantum states, that's what a quantum state is. It's in one state or it's in another. But there's with no intermediate state between that. And that's a very interesting concept. We could go into that. Although these things, and I apologize, because these things that interest me, all of a sudden I realize they don't interest that many people. There are not that many people interested in this. And for me to expound on it is just, it's just not shouting at the wind so much as being very arrogant to think that somebody would be interested in this type of thing. But I needed something out on the website, and so that's it. There is these things hold some significance to me. But that's it. And, a guy once told me, he said, Creel, you're a good-looking guy, but your eyes are too close together. And I'm going, what? My eyes are too close together? What? He said, no, your eyes. You're like, I went here and I did this and I think this and I want that. Your eyes are a little too close together. And I'll go, oh, I get it. My capital I's are a little too close together. And he goes, yeah, you may want to think about that. He's the same one that broke me from saying I know all the time. Somebody would tell me something, well, I know. And he said, every time you do that, so people tell you things, and you may know it, but you may not. And you may think you know it before they tell you, and then you don't listen. But even if you know it, and you say, I know, right after, then what you told them is, you gave me a gift of something, some knowledge that you might benefit you. And what you've done is you've taken that gift, and as if they handed you a gift wrapped in a big bow, and thrown it on the ground or thrown it back into their face and said, I don't want it, I already have one. That's exactly what you're doing. And when he explained it like that, it was like, man, that is a bad thing to do. And it took a while, but I was able to finally get to where I didn't say I know after everything somebody said, because it was a bad habit. And so that was a good one. So this is going up on the website. This is so there'll be something there, just first of all, to see if I can do it. And I either can or I can't. There won't be any middle ground. There's no Buddhist that is going to be able to, even the Dalai Lama won't be able to help me. If it won't let me put up a video, it won't be there. You'll never see this. But if it does, then you will have seen that it did. And my apologies to the Dalai Lama, but that's the way it is. So anyway, hope y'all having a good day. Talk to you later.